Thank you, Mr. Rajesh. That was a wonderful welcome. I did not have to start that. Before we begin, a quick request to all the participants. Kindly keep your audio muted and your videos turned on during the session. A very short introduction to Dr. Rekha Reddy. She is an ardent Montessorian, educating children and training teachers in the Montessori method of education for the last 3 decades. She is a founder director of Vidyanjali Academy for Learning, and she continues to inspire teachers so that they enjoy the teaching process and benefit children in turn. She's also the director of IIMS. Dr. Rekha Reddy is a lifelong learner with a doctorate in play in early childhood education. She is one of the premier Montessori trainers in Bangalore. And without further ado, I hand over the reins of today's Montessori workshop to Dr. Rekha Reddy. Ma'am.
Yeah, thank you, Meena, for the wonderful introduction. Good afternoon, dear participants, and welcome to the world of Montessori. So today we are going to discuss the 3 pillars of Montessori education. Montessori classroom, a video you are going to see. Nice. Okay, we'll wait for some time. Am I audible still? Okay. So Montessori classroom video we are going to watch, and then we are going to discuss about Montessori principles and the Montessori activities in a Montessori classroom, life in the Montessori class, a video, and we'll discuss about the misconceptions around Montessori education, followed by question and answer session. So there are 3 pillars on which Montessori education rests. So without even one pillar, the education cannot be called Montessori. So the 3 pillars are the Montessori classroom, that is specially prepared Montessori classroom, the specially prepared means of development, that is Montessori operators, and specially trained teacher. So the specially prepared Montessori classroom is called Montessori environment. The classroom, we do not call classroom, we call it environment. So environment is a home away from home for the child. So it is designed completely keeping the child's need in mind. It is a child-centered environment, child-centered classroom. So whatever you find in the Montessori classroom are all proportionate to the child's physical size and also child's mental size. So psychically also, it is proportionate to the child. So the classroom is made up of 3 age groups. So Montessori education is divided into 3 ages block, 3 to 6 years, 6 to 9 years, 9 to 12 years, 12 to 15, and 15 to 18. So each of these blocks are made up of 3 age groups. So we find children from 3 years to 6 years in a Montessori classroom. And the Montessori environment is very spacious because the children have to work with their mats and then with the material. We need space for display the materials. We need space for moving around. So we need a lot of space. So actually in Vidyanjali, we have classrooms 30 by 40 square feet. 30 by 40 feet, that is 1,200 square feet, which is 3 times the conventional classrooms. Then there are no charts, no timetable, no desks, no benches as in regular school in a Montessori environment. Because these desks and chairs will restrict the child's movement. And also sitting on mat is a way of projecting our culture. So we have table, but it is only a reading table. It is not the benches and desks which you find in regular classroom. Then specially manufactured Montessori operators. The Montessori operators is called means of development. It is not toys. So what is means of development? It is a means, a medium for development. So here we need to discuss about what is a toy and what is this means of development. So when we have a toy, the child can do whatever he wants. A toy could be used without any restriction. Whereas Montessori operators, there is a purpose behind each operators, and it has to be used in a particular manner to get development happen. So these materials are not just developed by Montessori. These have been taken from different people. So there are three sources where we get these Montessori materials from. The first source is curative pedagogues. These are the pedagogues, these are physicians who develop certain didactic material through which they could help mentally retarded and they say mentally defective and physically defective children. Some of these are Jean-Marc Itard, and the other one is his disciple, Edward Seagon. So Jean-Marc Itard, he was the one who worked with what is the name? Mowgli. Jungle Book Mowgli. Jungle Book Mowgli, it really happened. It is not a story. So in Germany, he worked with a person, a boy who was abandoned in the forest, who Itard. And he developed certain material in educating that boy. So some materials have been taken from Itard, and his disciple was very much influenced by Itard, and he had developed certain materials, and we have his materials also in the Montessori environment. Apart from that, we have some materials which were developed by psychologists who use certain materials to evaluate children's capacity. So we have borrowed, Montessori has borrowed even those materials into the Montessori classroom. And then Maria Montessori's materials, while working with special children, Maria Montessori started her work working with special children, and she had developed a lot of materials. And she has used those materials also in the present Montessori classrooms. And these Montessori operators, they are not just materials. So the materials which lead to purposeful activities. So if a material just just stays in the classroom and on the shelf, it doesn't bring any development to the child. So the child should know how to use the material in a specific manner, in a desired manner that would make the child to reach the development. And then these are not teaching aids. So we might see some schools having teaching aids in their schools, and the whole set of Montessori materials as teaching aids. So what is the difference between teaching aids and the Montessori materials used in the Montessori classroom? So teaching aids is, we just show, we have, if we want to teach colors, the classroom has some 30 children in regular school, and the teacher will show like this, and this is blue color, and this is red color, and this is yellow color. And then the material goes back to its place. Whereas in a Montessori environment, the material will be used by the children. So children use the materials and they manipulate the material for their development. Then we have specially trained teacher. So the environment and the means of development, they are lifeless things. So it is the teacher who adds life into these lifeless things. So she is the one who is responsible to prepare the environment, and she is the one who is responsible to prepare the means of development. And she is trained to demonstrate these two agents, these two pillars, the environment and the means of development, in order to bring development in the children. So there is a specific way of demonstrating the material. So the teacher has to undergo intensive training to know about it. Then it is not only important that the materials should be presented, the demonstration should be presented to the child. It is equally important when to interfere in the child's development and when not to interfere. So unnecessary help will not be conducive for the child's development. So the teacher will introduce the material and allow the child to learn by himself through his mistakes. and she remains at the background. So when we compare a Montessori teacher to a regular school teacher, the regular school teacher stands in front of the class and then she says, this is what you have to do and this is what you have to follow. And always she is in front of the child, in front of the child's learning. But the Montessori teacher, once she establishes the contact between the material and the child, she stays background. She stays background, but still she lives in the environment. She will be in the environment seeing what the child is doing with this material. She will not go away, but she stays at the background. And she will always be there to help the child when he needs the support. So this is the sample of Montessori classroom. So these are examples of practical life. Sensorial activities. This is how big the classroom is. This is the Montessori sports area. So it is a newly developed concept. Now, coming to Montessori principles, the first principle is individual learning. The child is the constructor of his personality. So that the adults, the teacher or for parents, they can support the child to develop, but they cannot interfere in the work of the child. So we cannot lecture the child, this is what you have to do. So we provide activities for the child to learn individually and independently. Then the children use their hands and senses to reach their development. Or whatever we want to present in a Montessori environment, we see that the child can hold those materials, work with his senses. So this is the first principle. The second principle is active learning. Montessori believes that learning happens through the movement. It is not having one PT period. It is throughout the day, the child will be involved in movement and learning. And the human being has a physical energy and then mental energy. And in the Montessori environment, these two energies are brought together and unifies mind, body, and spirit. Principle 3, the classroom is made up of 3 age groups. So that is, it has mixed age groups. So why mixed age groups? Our society is not made up of only one set of people, one kind of people. It is not made up of only men or only women or only the intelligent people. It is made up of wide range of organisms. So we bring that society to the classroom. So the classroom has the children from 2.5 to 5.5 years. Now, because of NEP, it is up to 6 years. And in this way, in this mixed age group, what is the benefit? So here, the child learns from looking at the older one. The younger child learns from looking the older one. And the older one feels responsible for the younger child. Then we have principle number 4. All Montessori environments are governed by freedom. They have freedom inbuilt in the classroom. So what kind of freedom? Freedom to move, freedom to talk, freedom to ask for presentation, freedom to choose the activity, and freedom to stop working. So all these freedoms the child has. But At the same time, Montessori believes that freedom and discipline are the two faces of same coin. So there is a limitation for all these freedoms. So freedom to move, what is the limitation? The child can move inside the classroom and he can go out also, but there must be some purpose for that movement. And freedom to talk. The children can discuss whatever they want, but their voice level should be low. It should not disturb other children. Then freedom to ask for presentation. They can ask the teacher, auntie, please present this, or give me this, show me this. The limitation is the child should be ready for that particular presentation. And he has the freedom to choose the activity. There are so many materials in the classroom, and the child will naturally be attracted to many activities, but he should have been presented with that particular activity if he wants to choose. Then he has the freedom to stop working. But the limitation is once he chooses an activity and once he carries to his place, he has to complete at least once. So that is the limitation for freedom to stop working. Now, as I said, the teacher in the Montessori environment stays at background and allows the child to learn through his mistakes. So it is learning through mistakes. Let us see how this child learns. So the child, this is called pink tower. So the moment we present some activity, the child will not get that perfection. So he has to work again and again with the material. So he won't be disturbed by the distractions around or the movement around. So this child achieves this perfection in one sitting, but sometimes what happens, the children achieve this, the end product after 2 or 3 sittings. And he doesn't allow anyone to touch his work. And look at the happiness on his face. Yes. So this is how children learn in a Montessori environment. Now look at this classroom. This is an image of Vidyanjali's Montessori environment. Now, what kind of activities do you see? So we have the first group of activities, exercises of practical life. Exercises of practical life are the activities which we perform in our daily life. The activities like sweeping, mopping, washing, cooking, and even saying namaste, how we wish So these are all activities which the child has irresistible attraction towards. So it is not only in Bangalore, throughout the world, children are attracted to these activities. So if there is such a deep attraction, there must be some need fulfilled by working with these activities. So what is that need? That is to concentrate and to develop independence. So the exercise of practical life help the child to become independent with regard to all his activities, like rolling the mat, preparing the ground and pouring, and he will gain control over his movements, and it leads to deeper concentration. Now you can see how the child is concentrating in this image. Then the exercise of practical life also teach the child the norms of the society. So what do we do when we get into the temple? What do we do in a hospital? How do we behave in a school? So all these norms will be presented to the child. And then he learns the dignity of labor. It is not only the girl who has to sweep. It is not only the man who has to do his own chores. It is it is not only Aya who has to sweep the floor. So the child realizes it's okay to do any work. Then it strengthens his willpower. When a child comes to Montessori House of Children, his willpower may not be so strong. So by working with exercise of practical life, his willpower will be strengthened. At the same time, he gains control over his movements, the voluntary movements. Then sensorial activities. Sensorial activities will refine the senses, but actually that is not our main aim. Senses are the gateways to intelligence. So the intelligence takes its decision depending on the information given by the senses. So if the information given by the senses is wrong, the decision taken by the intelligence is faulty. So these activities will help the child to refine his senses and to become aware of the senses he has around 2.5 years. Then he will become, he will be able to differentiate between the minute differences in sound, dimensions, shapes, sizes, all those things. So this difference, this ability to differentiate the minute differences will prepare the child for reading and writing in recognizing the difference between P and B and D and B, V and U. So the child realizes these differences by working with sensorial activities. And it has, again, sensorial activities have a lot of movements which will prepare the child for writing. The agility of movement, wrist, the child develops by working with sensorial activities. Then he will also get into the habit of scientific decision making. So whenever we have to take a decision, how do we take? First, we observe, and then we compare, and then we establish relationships. So the child gets into this habit by working with sensorial activities. Then the group 3 activities are language activities. So here, when the child comes to Montessori House of Children or any school for that matter, he will be speaking some language. He will have some language. So he becomes aware of his spoken language and he learns to use that language in an effective manner. And then he will be aware that language is made up of sounds. And then he will be introduced to writing and then reading. Then the child will know the function of words in a sentence and how a sentence is structured. So where the noun will be, where the verb will be, and where is subject and where is object, the child will understand. Then the group 4 activities is arithmetic activities. Arithmetic activities is, arithmetic is a precise science. So there are a lot of activities for 1 to 10 and 0, because whole arithmetic we have only these 10 numbers and then 0. So the child will realize the relationship between the numbers 1 to 10 and 0. A lot of activities with regard to 1 to 10 and 0. Then we introduce decimal system. So the child will realize what are the laws of decimal system. Then the meaning of addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, the child, we provide activities so that the child understands how they are different. And then we have materials, operators, which will help the child to memorize the basic combinations around addition, subtraction, multiplication, division without deliberately by hearting it. So just by working so many times, the child will get by heart. Then the child lives in a world where there are plants, there are animals, and there are so many geographical structures. So we present those things, we introduce those things to the child. So we have plants in the environment, we have animals in the classroom, and the child will understand their needs, their characteristics, and the parts of animals and plants. And also the basic knowledge of geography, land, water, and air. Then the world political geography, world map, Asia map, India map, Karnataka map are presented to the child. So by the end of third year, that is when the child is 5.5 years, the child is able to recognize all continents of the world, all countries of Asia, all states of India, and all districts of Karnataka. So this is a sample of how a classroom works. So this is cylinder blocks. Look at the way the child holds the cylinders. This is exactly the way we hold the pencil. And he has to stop when the water reaches that mark. So it requires a lot of control. This is how they work with color tablets. They pair two colors. Kannada. Enrichment of vocabulary through books, through the nomenclature cards. This is how we present decimal system, and this is for addition. So the child uses the knife. Cards and counters. Working with maps. Reading for the child. This is another set of activity for 1 to 10. Children learn 9,999 for multiplication. Division. So some of the misconceptions. It is thought that Montessori is only for special children. It is true that Maria Montessori started her work with the special children, but she worked only for 2 years, and then she realized how the normal children are neglected. So whole her life she dedicates to work with normal children. So the teachers, the environment, and even the children, other children in the classroom, they're all normal. So it is not for special children. But at the same time, the Montessori equipment and Montessori method could be used for special children. So the Montessori trained teachers are comfortably, they work in a special school. They apply these methods, the materials to special children. And children can do whatever they want. That is extreme freedom they have. This is another misconception. So that is not so. The classroom has several limitations. So the child cannot do whatever he wants. The child cannot choose whatever he wants to do. So everything has some limitation. And there is too much of discipline. So this is opposite of too much of freedom. That is also wrong. So there are so many materials in the Montessori classroom, and the moment the child comes to the classroom, he directly goes to one material, and we do not know why. The parents will not be knowing, and even teacher will not be knowing. So he will be following his inner need. So that inner need makes the child to choose a particular material. So it appears that it is too much of discipline, but yes, discipline, but it is following his own need. Then children have difficulty writing. So these are the things which have been, which have been taken from the present Montessori third-year children. They are going to first standard. So this is their work. They have not been given writing AAA, BBBC, or CCC, copying in a copy note, no. So they start writing when they feel like writing. So when they are at right age, at right, with right help, they start writing. Then there will be a lot of writing. It is not that we force the child to write, they want to write. So that is the difference between the writing in Montessori school and the writing in regular school. Then Montessori is only for pre-primary children. Montessori started her work with the 3 to 6 year old children, but right now the Montessori is used for infants, that is 6 months to 2.5 years, and then 2.5 to 5.5 years, then 5.5 to 9 years, 9 to 12 years, and even adolescents. So I heard that the Montessori method is applied to even university level. Then children find it difficult to adjust to the traditional schools. So it is because there are so many materials in the Montessori environment. So people think that in regular school, when they shift to traditional school, children have difficulty in adjusting. It is natural for the parents to feel that. But the children have, when they complete in the primary level itself, the children are weaned from the materials. So if they are dependent on material, then it will not be making the child independent. So in the third year of Montessori, that is in elementary level, the children will be will not be interested in working with the material and they wean off. And they start working in abstract. And also, when they shift to primary to, if any child goes from pre-primary, from Montessori environment to regular environment, there will be some adjustment issues. But these adjustment issues will not be different from changing traditional school to traditional school. It is common, it is normal. So, what is the outcome? Outcome of Montessori education. This is the outcome of Montessori education. The Amazon founder, Google founders, and SimCity video game developer, Nobel Prize recipient in literature, chef and author Julia Child, and Joshua Bell and Beyonce Knowles, they're all Montessori trained. Even Anne Frank is a Montessori trained child. So now as I said that Montessori teacher training is very, very important. I invite Emo to talk about it.
Thank you, ma'am, for such a warm introduction. Happy evening, everyone. So I'm happy to introduce IIMS Ignite Montessori Primary Diploma course for adults to create a nurturing learning environment for the ages 6 to 9 years. So this course, it is a unique blend of theory, practices, and innovation, and designed specially for teachers and parents like you. So if you're planning to start your own school, then I would say this course will give you a lot of insights and tools to start up your school. So many of you here would be interested in special education, or you love to help children who learn differently, isn't it? So I could say this course will give you a lot of ideas and practices on how to cater to the different learning needs of children. So the best part of this course is that it is specially designed for teachers and parents like you, keeping in mind your busy schedules. We have designed this course based on your convenience without compromising on the quality. So this is a summer course. It spreads over 2 summers and it includes all Saturdays. On summer holidays, during the weekdays, the course is from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. And on Saturdays, the course is from 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. So on the whole, this course is divided into 3 modules. The module 1 starts from 15th April 2024 to 17th May 2024. This online classes will be conducted every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. As I told you, it is a blended course with online as well as offline practice sessions. So the offline practice sessions will take place every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday, allowing for hands-on experiences for you. The module 2, it continues till April 12, 2025. So again, the online classes will be held on the 1st, 2nd, 3rd, and 5th Saturdays. And the 4th Saturday is designated for on-site practice classes, providing you for valuable hands-on experiences. We have the module 3 from 14th April 2025 to 17th May 2025. So the online classes will be conducted every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and the offline practice sessions will take place every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday, allowing for hands-on experiences. So throughout this course, you will have the privilege of learning from expert trainers who bring over 25 years of experience in Montessori education. Their guidance, insights, and mentorship will not only enrich your learning journey, but I think it is also going to inspire you to become a confident and effective Montessori educator. So the registrations are open now. I hope to see many of you here. And remember, we are always ready right here to help you. So empower yourself with the knowledge and skills to make a difference. Thank you.
Thank you, Emo, for that introduction to Montessori IIMS Ignite.